This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
Aloha and welcome to another edition of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now sports podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, resident sports guy. That's my phone going off, but we will keep going. I'm joined, as always, by Cienna, Pilotin, Davis, Pitner. We are back. Happy December!
Yeah, we made it, guys. It is
December. Time of
I
year.
can't believe it, honestly. It felt like we just... Cienna just joined in July, as our permanent co-host.
That flew by,
right?
Yeah, it really did.
Oh my gosh,
but it's crazy. And you know what? It's almost a sad time of the year too, because football's over, guys.
I know.
It's gone. You know, we got NFL, but for the Bows, for high school football in Hawaii,
anything locally here,
it's over.
It's over. But honestly.
Yep.
What a way to cap things off.
Yes.
A little
I would say
early
so, yeah.
Christmas present. We're going to get right into it. An early Christmas present for the University of Hawaii. They downed Colorado State on senior night, the final game of the year. The final score was 27-24, a real close one, and it literally went down to the final second, guys.
I know,
that was
controversial.
Controversy.
Yeah. That was crazy. I mean, just the atmosphere over there. I mean, I so called it last week. Horton, their receiver, I knew going into the game, this guy is good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
He's gonna be good during
Sunday
this game. And who would have thought 50 seconds left in the game, he catches that fourth down pass for a touchdown, and then he gets the 2-point conversion. That was crazy.
I mean, I'm going to put myself on blast here. I left.
Yeah.
I left in the fourth. I did, Davis. I told Kyle, I was like, this is it. We have an early day the next day. You know, we get up early to go on sunrise.
Talk to Billy.
It's a quick turnaround. So at that point, UH was up.
They were up by a score.
Yeah, it was by a score.
Definitely more than a touchdown.
They had a solid cushion going into
it was a little cushion.
It was a good cushion to the point that I was like, all right, see what I needed to see. I'm going to beat the traffic. I'm the smartest person
Oh,
here.
yeah. She's
I really thought that I
you got it. Senior night, you got to leave.
Here.
Yeah.
And especially senior night.
Yeah.
And so I dipped. And next thing you know, I get a text from Kyle. They tied it. And I was just like, no, they didn't. I literally was like, you're lying to me. There's
insane.
just no way.
It was insane. And, I stopped texting Cienna literally because the last couple seconds of this game was insane. Braden Shager marches them down close enough for... I mean, it was still a 51-yarder. It was close as they could get.
That is far for
If I remember, it was a 52. It was a career long for him.
Crazy.
Yeah, career long.
And just with... They stopped it. Chuki Hines, the receiver, Braden completed to him. I thought, and I think everybody thought, he was downed out of bounds. So they stopped the clock, which I guess he was. But then the ref started going with the motion hey, let's run the clock. And Shipley had to run basically 40 yards from the sideline to his spot, no warm-ups, and just bangs it in down Main Street and
down Dole Street.
Down Dole Street. There it is. He gets walked off the field like
That's
Rudy.
So
crazy. The hero of the night, truly.
And that's coming after him missing a field goal earlier on.
Yep, and then he got one blocked after that, too.
Got one blocked. So, I mean, no one thought he was going to make it.
I mean, the confidence was definitely down on him just the night that he was having. But, man, I mean, just that was after that little cutaway of some of the players. We rushed the field. All the media, all the cameras, we rushed it right after this moment because we were like, game over. But then the refs are like, everybody back. We got to look at this to see if we got it off in time. I mean, look at Shager. I mean, he had a game.
Had a little swag going on during that game. He had a little swag.
He was swagged out, and he was hyped. But, yeah, we all had to run off the field, and I just ended up in the bench. Suit me up, coach.
Why not?
Put me in. I got
what they're gonna say.
You're ready. Hey,
it's
get some pads on.
Literally,
get some pads on.
I got 4 years of eligibility in the NCAA. I'm waiting, watching the ref. Also, the ref, he needs a bigger shirt.
I saw
man.
Yeah. That guy has gone viral so many times.
Homeboy said, "Oh, I'm a schmedium." No, you're not.
He's not a schmedium.
Honestly. Do it. He probably works hard for that bod.
Yep. He's like, I'm the next Ed Hockley. Take notice.
He is Shannon Sharp.
It was very distracting from it.
He's like, he might purposely flex on first downs. He's like, First down.
Probably
Please.
whenever he did a first down,
Yeah.
if he hit someone, he would just knock him over.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's a
he was
illegal
just
blow to
that
the
strong.
head.
Yeah, I wish
But-
we had a shot of that. But yeah,
know.
he was a very strong guy.
Strong dude, but
Strong man.
strong end to this game.
Ah,
Hey!
Kyle.
Matthew Shipley, and then 16 seniors obviously honored at the end of this game for their time at UH. I think I do want to give a shout out to one in particular, Iliki Tanuvasa, who had come here as a walk-on after spending, I think, a year at Eastern Illinois. He was a walk-on reserve offensive lineman, worked his way into not only a starting center job, but a captain on this team throughout the transition of the two. I think he actually got here with Rolo.
Oh, so he
So
saw all
Oh,
three
he saw all
coaches.
three. So he's kind of been through kind of the ringer, and he stuck through it, and he's probably one of the most productive offensive linemen who will be missed next year protecting Shager. But I mean, again, all 16 of these seniors contributed and
Timmy,
stuck through it.
Timmy said after the game too. I think you interviewed him,
Yeah.
and he was just saying like, these guys didn't need to stay.
Yeah, they could've
like,
left,
They
yeah.
they could have left with some other guys, and these guys chose to stay. And sure, they didn't reap the benefits maybe, but. The one thing that he did say was the foundation.
Yeah.
They helped build the foundation for this program, and I think that's something that's really impressive for these seniors to stay here through that entire time.
I mean, what
So
a
that-
wild time it
I know.
was.
And what a
for
wild
the guys that are
time.
staying now into next year, I
Right.
think next year we have a lot to look forward
Yeah.
to. I
would
think
say so,
there were
yeah.
parts in the season, especially early on, the middle part actually, the middle chunk, it was tough to watch.
Yeah.
For many
Yeah.
people. And there were points where you're just like, what do we do? Do we start a total rebuild? Like, how do we get better for next season? And then we ended the season strong, and it was to the point now that we have something to look forward to.
Right.
Braden Shager is coming back again,
Yeah.
and there's no doubt about it. So nobody start
Yep.
anything on
Yep.
Twitter because
Yep.
we will shut that down immediately.
And that shutdown's coming from the head man himself. We all saw the tweet. Some
Yeah.
sports
Did,
transfer
yeah.
portal
But there's
insider.
about everybody. Like they said, DJ
Uyang-
Uangalele.
Oh, yeah.
Uyangalele.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Is it? It is, right?
Uyangalele, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That
said
was
he was
good.
gonna enter the portal too
Yeah.
this morning, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Nah, fam."
Yeah, it's always a slippery slope when you we just now in college football we trust these insiders like it's gospel.
Yeah, like I could go out there and tweet right now.
Yeah. I mean, who would you
Who's
tweet?
stopping
Yeah.
me?
who would you tweet about? Like
I mean,
What was that?
she's plotting.
She's
like Shador
plotting.
Sanders.
Shadur.
I
yeah.
will
Shador.
make Christmas real awkward for y'all.
That'd be a awkward family table.
This is like, please don't.
David's
We'll
like,
talk about Christmas
I was
later.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
we have a special Christmas section. This is
Yeah.
December, guys. This
it's
is all
month.
Christmas now.
Yep.
Yes.
Christmas all month.
But I mean, speaking of Christmas, like UH is gonna get a present with all these guys coming back
Oh,
next
they
year.
are, yeah.
I'm
for
very
sure.
excited.
I mean, Stephen
It's gonna be
McBride,
good.
Yeah,
the Kansas
he's
transfer.
gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers in one season alone, like eclipsed his 3 years at Kansas. I
Yeah.
saw that graphic online, but Davis, again, graciously printed
it.
out all
Oh,
the
yeah.
He is the
stats.
best.
This is
He
the
is the
last
best.
one, guys.
No!
I know, the last
stats.
football one.
I'm going to have to come up with some other stats
I know.
for other sports. Last football stat sheet.
Davis,
Carry
can
on,
you
Kyle.
put a stat sheet together with how much times I've said this year in the episode? Like ums per
We don't
minute.
have
I'm right
enough
there
Yeah,
with
we-
you.
we really
I'm
don't
right
have
there
enough
with you.
paper.
I'm right there with
We
you.
do not have enough paper. But Stephen McBride, 6 receptions, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. He finished ranked 18th in reception yards with 1,024
such a
yards
big
and 9
mile
total
marker.
touchdowns this
He's
season.
so good.
McBride the Glide is going to be back.
But also, McBride, those 9 touchdowns,
Yeah.
that is actually tied with Ashlock. And
Ooh.
those 9 touchdowns
Both really
make
good.
them both ranked 19th
Ooh,
in
there
the
you go.
country in terms of receiving touchdowns. Ashlock, freshman, finished the year with 832 yards and, like I said, 9 touchdowns. Not too shabby for a young
shabby.
freshman receiver, guys.
Not too shabby for the Frosh.
Not too shabby for the Frosh. And we can't forget at all about UH's main guy, a guy that we've kind of seen, grow up over the years.
Definitely.
Brayden Shager, I mean, we seem to mention him every single episode. And a good reason why. His numbers just outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is becoming one of the greats at UH football.
Yeah.
Right, guys? And just to finish off the stats, I'll just finish it off.
Do it. I was like, we were
so,
waiting.
I know, you're
Yeah.
like waiting.
Do it.
So,
Do it.
So lots of numbers. The last game, he put up a really impressive game, 320 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He had 8 carries and 49 yards rushing. Brayden finishes the year ranked 8th in the country. He's been in the top 10 almost every single week. So very impressive, Brayden Shager. He finished the year 525 passing attempts. He completed 332 of them, 14 interceptions, had 26 touchdowns, and 3,542 passing yards. As we said last week, he is now well over 6,000 passing yards for the year. He has another year left. He's going to go down as one of the greats. That's for sure.
On paper, yeah, he's going to be mentioned. You know, when the UH recruitment Twitter puts out those graphics with all the quarterbacks, once he graduates, you can slap him right there, right next to the other ones. But no, I mean, and if you look at one thing that stands out, I think people might get concerned is the 14 interceptions. If you look at the last back half of the season, those turnovers and interceptions almost non-existent. So as the year progressed, like we keep saying, he's gotten more efficient, more better with the safety of the football and those turnovers. So I mean, if they can ride this into next season, boy, oh boy.
Who would have thought about that rushing too? Like that was something that we've seen.
Waiting for that.
Yeah, that's something we didn't really see last year.
Yeah, everybody was talking about the Shager bombs, not the Shager wheels.
Shager
now
wheels.
it's kind of a war on two fronts.
It's made the difference on the games that Hawaii has won. The big key component was being able to run the ball, and a lot of it fell on Shager, which he seemed to like this year.
I mean, the swagger and confidence that we saw.
He really did.
The back half
That's
of the
all
season.
it takes.
Yeah.
Just a couple good runs, and he is feeling himself. And then now it makes it so easy for when he does have to throw.
Yeah.
He's just got the confidence on both sides. It works. It works very well.
And it turns into a coverage nightmare because if you start keying in on Shager, that opens up coverage for the receivers.
Oh,
Oh, Timmy's got something cooking.
He's got something cooking. That is for sure. One shout out to Colorado State, their receiver. I mean, he just got to give him props. He's now ranked 12th in the nation. That game he had 186 yards, and just like McBride, well over 1,000 yards in the year, 1,136 yards. It just goes to show that receivers these days are just very, very good.
Very, very good.
Monsters.
Monsters. It's going to be a monster year next year.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm so excited.
And speaking of monsters, going down to the high school gridiron, there was
I was
a
waiting
very
for that transition.
big
That
red scary monster that
It's okay.
that Mililani High School
They're
had to
very
face.
good. They're very good.
Kyle, how do you feel about that?
You know,
For people new, Kyle Chinen, proud alum of Mililani.
yeah, I mean, I got to give props I got to give credit where credit is due, you know.
They're a good team, man.
They're a really good team.
They're a
Obviously,
good team, yeah.
we were talking about the HHSAA Open Division Football Championship that also took place at Ching Field the night before this UH game. Mililani, Kahuku, the rematch, the first time two OIA teams faced each other in a state championship setting, and man, the stadium was rocking the entire time. It started off, I mean, with a special teams bobble. Mililani bobbles the opening kickoff and sets up Kahuku in the red zone. And honestly, it started to get a little back and forth. I was in a group chat with all of my teammates and Mililani alums alike, and we were ready to celebrate. We were ready to
don't do that.
honking our horns down Mehu'ula Parkway.
Please.
But yeah, Kahuku ended up coming back 21-19 in the fourth quarter. Not we, but the Mililani Trojans took the lead 19-15. Kenny McMillan capping off another extraordinary year. He played great this game. a bomb down the field to Dave and Joseph to make it 19-15. But in that last couple minutes of the game, man, we'll get to the highlights in a second on screen, but there's Keenan McMillan. He ran one in early to keep it competitive. I kind of called it as a low-scoring game last week's episode just because, Kahuku is a run-first team, and that defense of Mililani has been stellar all season.
Yeah, for sure.
But if Kahuku could figure out a way to stifle this team, then it would stay. I mean, just look at the covers. 3 guys on 1 guy. It was a great game by both sides, and I think honestly Kahuku won the uniform matchup in my opinion. I've never been too high on these uniforms by Mililani, so I'll stop talking now.
Okay. Well, okay, in terms of uniform matchups, I like when Kahuku wears red.
Yeah.
I like the red a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not in love with these. I'm also not in love with Mililani's, but we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
In terms of the game, I mean, we're very lucky. Everyone here in Hawaii is very lucky that this ended up being the championship game,
Right.
because this was the best on paper, and it was the best outcome, I think. And just the fact that, Mililani won the first time, and then it's like revenge tour, but obviously you can't count Kahuku out. They beat ranked St. John Bosco.
Yeah.
So this was, on paper, the best matchup, and it ended up being, what a wild ending.
Oh,
2
wow.
wild endings at
for
Clarence
sure.
Yeah.
teaching in the same weekend.
Was.
I mean, that field is now known for 2 very crazy finishes on all levels, really, here in
Yeah.
Hawaii.
And I see a lot of red out there.
The crowd.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd was
Gotta
pretty.
expect Kahuku to show up.
Yeah, Kahuku came in force.
What about Mililani?
I mean, our side was pretty good. We were
Yeah.
we were on the visitor side, so
From
the
Meheula Parkway to Dole Street?
yeah, we made the trek.
Made the trek.
Please, so did they.
No, they made the trek. and
They
made
made the bigger trek.
They made it known. I got to the field at 3:30, right before
Wow.
my live hit, and the parking lot was already full. I could hear the drums from the family members that brought. Everybody has a drum. All
They
the
just-
flags.
Drum.
I
Bring
will.
your own drum, folks.
I will say, pretty funny. So for UH, they have the parking structure that's normal, and then there's this open lot by Clum Gym that we sometimes go for Mediavale and park there. It's a small little open air lot. There was a sign there that said for oversized vehicles only. So they knew who was coming to play this game, and they kind of knew the vehicles that were showing up to Manoa, to Dole Street, to Lower Campus that night. And this is a funny thing, but I tried leaving right after the game. It was probably like 10:45. I didn't get back to the station till 11:30.
Wow.
Like,
It's a late
they
night.
were directing traffic to get people out of the parking structure. Horns were honking.
Oh,
Music
Oh,
was
yeah.
blaring. Bunch of chi-hoos. Everybody was crazy, going nuts, and
Wow,
rightfully
Kyle's
so.
crying
Yeah.
in the car.
Rightfully so. I mean, and then I'm just in HNN, the HNN car, just that should be me. No,
Oh, that was
Wow, that.
not your best
Wow.
work.
I know. Oh, it's not my vocal range, guys. I'm sorry. Not every song.
JB is not your vocal range.
It's not.
He's everyone's vocal
I mean,
range.
depending on which era, yes.
The real Eras
the
tour.
real
right
Eras
there.
tour.
If
I was
we're
just
being
gonna say.
real.
That is true. That is true. But hats
Yeah.
off to Kahuku. They three-peat actually
Yeah.
as Open
And that's
Division
just
state
so impressive.
champions.
Yeah. Like, I mean, first time in tournament history, 2 OIA teams facing off.
Yeah.
You look at, like, Kenny McMillan, too, and all these young players. They just have bright futures. I
Yeah.
mean, what a heck
Yeah.
of a player. Like, Kenny has a bright future.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And for the Mililani squad, a lot of those pieces that made them successful this year are back as seniors next year. So I can only imagine that Rod York is going to get those guys fired up. And I don't even think he needs to do much. Those kids are
No.
probably already
Hungry.
fired up and hungry for next year, knowing that what was left on the table this season.
Well, speaking of being hungry, you know, you usually eat things out of like a bowl. And speaking about bowls, we're talking about the Hawaii Bowl, everyone.
All right, let's talk
once
about
again,
let us then.
UH is once again not in the Hawaii Bowl, but
can't get you
there's a nice little Hawaii connection to the bowl. Someone very familiar with the Bows.
Yeah.
Guys, of course, we're talking about Chevin Cordero.
Chevin Cordero and the San Jose
back.
State Spartans.
He
Yep,
just
he's
never
back.
seems to leave us alone.
He misses.
Just leave us alone.
Oh my gosh. So 2023 Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, December 23rd. It'll be the San Jose State Spartans taking on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Is that Chanticleers?
Yeah, it's the rooster on their helmet. It's a Chanticleer.
I like that name a lot. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
I'm sorry.
They're
Coastal
the
Carolina.
Chanticleers.
Like,
I did some research because in the script for the newscast, I almost wrote this Coastal Carolina Roosters because I thought it was just a rooster. But no, they're the Chanticleers.
I thought you were gonna say like chandelier. I would have easily said chandelier
Like
instead
Sia?
of
Like, Davis, are you
Or
going to say
Sia. Anyway.
we're gonna
Sia or C?
Or Sia. Anyway.
Anyways, but yes, it's going to be an interesting one. Two teams that haven't really seen each other. I did some
that's kinda
research. I believe Coastal Carolina is in Conference USA. So, that aligns with the Mountain West Conference USA matchup. There were a lot of computers kind of predicting who would come here. A lot of Wyoming was being thrown out there, maybe Utah State. But there was one that predicted San Jose, and their crystal ball came true.
There it is.
This will be the final game of Chevin Cordero's collegiate career, coming back to where it all started, not just for his time at UH, but also his time at St. Louis in high school. So it's kind of closing a long gap, a long circle for this guy's journey.
100%. And what a year for Chevin also.
Yeah.
Jeez, hit the mic.
That's so exciting.
Chevin, just a little bit about it. He got first team All Mountain West for QB. He was ranked 47th in the nation at the end with 2,558 yards and 19 touchdowns.
Slinging
not
it.
too bad. He's slinging it. Not Braden worthy, but he's still he's still there.
You do be there.
But Kyle mentioning about SJSU and Coastal Carolina about the computer models kind of projecting. There was something very unique that happened on how the players at SJSU found out about them making it to the Hawaii Bowl. So we're going to play this right now.
Oh, here we go.
Please.
So there he is.
Head coach Brett
That
Brennan.
is the head coach. So a little bit about this. The team in that room, they were watching the screen with different bowl team logos as they kept getting less and less and disappearing. The logos were disappearing until there were 3 left. And SGSU's Coach Brennan, ran out there to surprise the team, of course, with a surfboard. I guess meaning that they're heading to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And once again, big celebration right there. See Chevin out of
That
nowhere.
is a local boy if I've ever seen
Oh,
one.
man.
Yep.
The glasses.
Yeah. And another Hawaii connection with head coach Brett Brennan. He is the cousin of Colt Brennan, the late, great UH quarterback. So he has a lot of ties to this island. He actually started his collegiate coaching career at the University of Hawaii. And obviously Dick Tomey was his mentor when he was in San Jose. So he has a lot of connections here to the islands. And funny story, so I was on the Zoom with Chevin and Coach Brennan, and he was talking about the surfboard. He has a friend that moved here, and a board maker here in Hawaii made this for him and shipped it to him. So he has said that also had some special significance to him to be able to use that board. It's sitting up in his office.
board.
So, and I mean, the glasses, the whole fit, he's ready to surf. And even Chev was talking to us in the Zoom and said that when they got to play Hawaii earlier in the season, it was really a get in, play the game, get out scenario. So he didn't really have enough time. So now he's excited to kind of enjoy the bowl week and
this will be fun.
be home. And there's a couple other guys on the team, Kyler Halverson, their kicker, who's a Kaiser grad. He's from Hawaii. So there's a lot of connections to this Hawaii Bowl, even though the University of Hawaii is not in the game.
And it should be shaping up into a pretty decent matchup. I was looking at Coastal Carolina. Their quarterback, he's all right. He's ranked 83rd in the nation. They have one receiver, though, that has been doing very well. We're talking about Sam Pinkney. Sorry about if I misspoke there. But he is ranked 35th with 904 yards, 7 touchdowns. Looking at all the stats of these two teams, it might be a little frustrating for, some fans saying like, wow, UH has better players and, higher ranked guys than maybe these two teams. So I don't know. It's
just full circle that it happens to be Chevin Cordero playing in this game, because if it was in Wyoming or it would be the Hawaii Bowl. It's fun. It's a fun week. We'll cover it. But this makes it all the more worthwhile. This is a big deal.
I remember there was a Hawaii Bowl a couple years ago. It was like Rice and Fresno State, and like that was kind of weird because no real connections to the island, no real reason to go. But yeah, this one will be interesting. Obviously, a good send off for Chevin, who is out of eligibility. Stephen Tsai of the Honolulu Star Advertiser asked him in the Zoom if he was just going to stay here after the game since, season's over. He wondered if he's graduated already. But Chev has to go back. He has to graduate the following semester. So he can't enjoy Christmas just yet, but it will be a fun one and an interesting one, a little West Coast football versus East Coast football. And I'm sure you guys have kind of seen Coastal Carolina's colors, that teal and white. So it's going to look
it'll
be a nice
very cool.
Visually,
very cool.
Visual matchup is a
Christmas
winner.
Eve,
Unless they wear their all yellow.
They might.
Which I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of the all yellow.
Even as a Mililani alum.
Davis.
You're not a fan of it?
Yellow.
It's a different yellow than the helmet, and that bothers me.
Me too.
It's a real problem. You got to match your colors, guys.
My thing is, it's just funny that Coach Brennan did this knowing that they were going to be at the Hawaii Bowl. Like, what if they got chosen for another bowl? Or, you know what I mean? What if, not like this would ever happen because it can't, but, what if they got the Las Vegas Bowl or something cool like that? The Peach Bowl.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Is he going to show up with a
Right.
sack of potatoes?
Sack
The
of
Pop-Tart Bowl, which is now edible.
The Pop-Tart. Wait, what?
Wait.
Yes. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
That was trending on Twitter the other day, that it'll be the first ever edible trophy.
Stop. Please.
You can eat it.
So what's going to
I'm
happen?
not
Is
even
each
kidding.
player going to take a piece of it?
Yeah,
Or,
and then it'll be gone.
It'll
no
just be
gone.
Everyone.
No
Literally no evidence.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow, I
so,
didn't know that.
I mean, go back maybe 15 episodes.
Yeah.
We talked about the Pop-Tart Bowl. I had a long rant about that, which will make sense. But now finding out it's edible, I'm kind of...
Are you back in?
Well,
You're
I'm
back
not
in it?
in because I think it's really weird.
I mean, that's also
But,
not sanitary.
No. I
Yeah.
get them all getting Pop-Tarts after, but, the actual trophy being edible, I'm not a big fan of. But,
Yeah.
I'm very excited just to watch that.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to be tuned in to ESPN or wherever the game is being played and to see what actually, I'm more interested to see what flavor they pick for the trophy. Because if they go...
Better be original.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Maybe a brown sugar cinnamon.
If it's
I'd be down for that or
weird,
strawberry.
If it's
throw the whole bowl game away. Honestly.
if it's blueberry.
Blueberry.
Not
they
a
have the
blueberry.
weird s'mores.
You don't like s'mores?
No.
Davis.
Oh.
I'm an original only type of guy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I'm saying it. I'm saying original only for me.
I mean, I love the original more than anything, but if someone hands me s'mores, I'm not throwing it across the room.
Right. This is almost an Almond Joy take, Davis.
An almond joy.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
Well,
Almond
I
Joy
don't
is
know.
so much worse.
Yeah, almond joy is a little different.
But oh man, that's
yeah. It's a hot
by
take.
Davis.
That's
That's
a
a
hot
hot
take
take.
right there. That's a
You
hot
put it
take
out there.
right
I
there.
respect you.
You had to put it out there.
How to give, how to send it out there,
What if the Hawaii Bowl was edible? Like it was like a bowl of what?
Poke.
A poke bowl?
Kolo pig, maybe.
And
That would actually be pretty good.
The
Like-
pig is just roasting out
Just-
there the whole game.
It's just on the sideline, just spinning.
Just spinning.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then all of a sudden, the team just like when UH won against Air Force, they ran over to the trophy. They run over to the
Yeah.
spit, and they
Yeah.
They
just start gnawing on it?
literally, like
Gnawing on it.
Thanksgiving
It's
Day.
I was just gonna say, Thanksgiving,
Day,
give him a
Yeah.
leg.
the-
Yeah.
just yeah.
Dallas Cowboys just eating them turkey legs.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
eating
yeah.
turkey. That'd be. Take notes, Easy Post, if you're watching. Take notes.
That might be.
Give out edible
interesting.
things to celebrate with in the post game. We're giving these away,
Absolutely.
ideas away.
We're
for
just
free.
giving
So
away
easy.
like.
It's too easy for us.
You know what was also easy, and we had to give a shout out.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yes, congrats to
Congrats
the
to
Congrats
Wahine.
to the Wahine.
I
You guys were watching the match
Yeah.
closely. I didn't have a chance to see it. How was the game, guys?
stressful.
Very
Stressful.
stressful,
Yeah.
especially towards the end. So
Yeah.
I missed a chunk of the second and third, but that fourth quarter was one of the best like volleyball games I've seen in a really long time.
It was so exciting. Oh my goodness.
just so back and forth. And
Yeah.
you
How close
like,
those games
yeah,
are.
like Hawaii was just hot at the right time.
Right.
They weren't supposed to win that game, and
Ab-
they did.
And yeah, and history shows. I mean, UH kind of gets not the most favorable seed and not the most favorable location, especially coming from Hawaii. They were in Long Beach last weekend for the Big West Championship. They win. They come back Sunday. They find out they're playing Iowa State at the University of Oregon. They leave Monday. They have 2 short practices Tuesday, Wednesday. They play on Thursday, and
See, I wonder why they came
Yeah.
back.
you know that's another question that I've always asked because, for example, women's basketball.
Yeah. They stayed for-
2 seasons ago, after they won the Big West, they came back. Then they went to Baylor, but for their previous season, they stayed on the mainland after the Big West title and went to Louisiana to LSU. So there's probably some sort of like sports science behind it. I don't really know, but in that first set, Davis, if you want to put that graphic back up just to show those scores, you see it. Iowa State won 25-16. Not the best start for Hawaii, and you can tell that the travel and those short practice times kind of were hindering them a little bit. But if you see set 2, 26-24, Deuce, that one they woke up and
They really pulled it together.
Yeah, Cienna
Yeah.
texted me during the third and fourth set that their stars woke up. Amber Igidi was going off. Kaylin Alexander, the young sophomore, was going off. They put in Tally Hawkes, and she was being a defensive force. So they just pulled it all together at the right time, like Cienna said. And now they move on to the round of 32.
Wow.
That's huge. And all it takes is a win like this to just spark your momentum. Now they're on top of the world.
Oh, yeah.
They believe they can beat anybody, and that's all it takes.
That's really, especially with this team, when
Yeah.
they get when they get a good mojo going, it's scary.
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna keep talking about uniforms. They went with black tops, green bottoms, which is a uniform matchup I don't think we've seen this season. They always kind of seem to stay solid, or like they wear white at home, so we always see the white, and then black on the road, or sometimes all green. But
What
it's
I
a good
always
little
like too
shakeup.
are the sleeves that they have. I
Yeah,
always
they
like
do
the
wear
designs
those.
of the sleeves.
The sleeves are cool.
Yeah.
It's a new look. I think because when they first moved to Adidas, they had the long sleeve jerseys, and then they went to the tank top with the arm sleeves, and it's a clean look with the tribal on it.
It's a clean look.
I know a couple episodes ago, or just in general, we've talked about volleyball uniforms, Cienna, and then how certain like cuts
Yeah.
kind of adjust, or so. I mean, hey, me and Davis only know football pads, and
Davis
That's
knows
basically it.
volleyball.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Little
You
bit
were-
of volleyball.
you
little
were a
bit of
volleyball player, I forgot.
Freshman year of high school.
Davis?
Volleyball. I mean, it was
No,
a
it's
very
fun.
brief period, but volleyball's really
No,
fun.
volleyball is
sport
fun.
that like you can just jump into. Like the amount of times that I've seen like just basketball players or football players or like just random like wrestlers, swimmers,
Yeah.
like, just jump onto the volleyball court and be really good,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like instantly is like so cool. It's just one of those sports you can just learn.
And I love
do.
my freshman year too because like a majority of us were all football players actually.
wow.
We knew nothing about the
Yeah.
sport. And so going into it, they had the women's varsity coach for volleyball come in and teach us all like how to play volleyball.
Yeah.
And
That's
then we
fun.
ended up winning the league.
That's
What?
Like
crazy.
all of us, just
That's
a
fun.
bunch of a bunch of us football players. I was starting at opposite, and then the other guys,
at
other four
you.
guys were all later on football players. We all ended up like having to quit volleyball and
Well,
everything
yeah.
because then we had to focus on football. But volleyball is a very fun sport. So that's awesome to see the Bows moving on. One UH team doing well so far
Yes,
right
we
now.
will keep
So
you guys
Yeah.
updated.
Yeah.
We're very excited for them.
Stick around.
All right, guys. Well, it is our fun segment of the episode,
yeah.
but it is December, which means it is Christmas-fied.
Christmas
If that's
time.
if that's a word,
Favorite.
Christmas-fied.
Christmas-fied.
So
love
nothing
it.
to start out, but very quickly, one of my favorite things, if you've seen in past episodes,
Favorite.
it is the sphere again, guys.
It's
I'm living for it.
spherical.
Look at that. You have the Rockettes. The sphere is,
Like, that is
always.
so cool.
That is
Sphere
really
is
cool.
always changing, and they decided to get into the holiday spirit by featuring the Rockettes on there. It just amazes me every time about how crystal clear the graphics are.
That's
Like,
honestly
that is-
really cool.
Crazy looking.
And like we talked about it a couple episodes ago, I think, with the F1, all the different graphics they had for the sphere. It's so cool. I
It
mean,
is so cool.
it honestly adds another. It might be too early to say, but another iconic landmark to the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
I would say
No,
so
I
too.
agree.
And a little bit about this too. That was at the beginning when you saw the little red and white. That was actually an ornament. Up now it's
I like
closing.
it.
So that is supposed to be
Yeah.
a ornament. The ornament opens up to reveal the Rockettes, and they are 125 feet tall,
Jeez.
performing their iconic choreography. And it ends off with the Radio City. Just once again, an amazing display by the Sphere. Cienna Pilotin, you were recently in Vegas
Yeah.
though,
Yes,
and you
I
got to see it
was.
in
It's
person. What
so-
was
I
it
mean,
like?
I've seen it before when it wasn't like lit up in anything, and it's just ginormous. I've drove like literally right past it many times while they're building it. It's humongous. And now going back to have it lit up, when I flew into Vegas, you can just see it from far.
Really?
Like the way it just is so much bigger and more catch-worthy
Yeah.
than Allegiant Stadium
Right.
and the fake Lady Liberty. Like it's so you just spot it from a mile away.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was so funny. So while I was in Vegas was also during the F1 time, and just having it right next to the track and its little eyes,
Yeah.
googly eyes watching
Yeah,
the racers,
yeah.
like literally moving when the cars would drive by. I thought it was so. Just like they really put time and effort into it.
It's so cool, and like even we've talked about it too on the show, but the inside is just as cool
Oh,
with
Yeah.
the
I
big
know.
screen
Yeah.
and right now I think it's just the U2 concert, right?
You too. I think another band just made an
Yeah.
announcement. I saw something very brief about it, but I can't remember which one.
Do you guys?
I saw something about Miss Beyonce maybe
Oh,
even doing a
that
whole
would be-
residency there.
That
See,
would be
that
in the
would be
Sphere.
Crazy.
Could
That
you
would be pretty
imagine
cool.
if the Sphere was around when the NFL draft was in Vegas?
Oh my
That'd be
goodness.
crazy.
They would totally
That'd be
would've
pretty
wanted
cool.
to have done that
Roger
there.
Goodell would have ate in there.
They imagine having like Roger's picture
Yeah,
on the Sphere
on the
announcing like
screen,
the number
yeah.
one draft pick.
Oh my gosh, you're like
Zach Capono Wilson.
Zach Cupono
It's
Wilson.
not even the right draft, but just like,
BYU.
yeah, just like on the
BYU.
big screen. That would be crazy.
Just
Yeah.
like, and then just the big picture of whoever gets drafted on the board just spinning around.
Yeah,
That would have
That'd
been
be
cool.
nuts.
That would
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Davis, truth be told, when you open this segment, I really thought since we transitioned directly from volleyball, that you're like, volleyball is a spherical object.
I should have done that.
Speaking
That
of
totally
spherical objects.
slipped my mind. Hey, I made the bowl. I only got so many transitions.
oh.
I have to limit myself to like one
it.
episode.
He doesn't want to show
Me
us
too.
both up. Like,
Yeah.
you got it all in your bag.
I don't know. Kyle, you had a good one today.
Did I?
Did you?
Who knows?
Or maybe not. I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
Rewind the episode if you did or not.
Play back on
Play
YouTube.
it back on YouTube.
But no, I mean, the sphere got us all into the holiday spirit.
Here it is.
I honestly like Christmas.
Me too.
Truth be told, most of the last couple Christmases before I moved back to Hawaii, I mean, Hawaii Christmases are always warm and beautiful and sunny most of the time. But I will say, like a Midwest cold Christmas, you can put on a coat. You see the leaves
Yep.
change,
I
the
agree.
snowdrop. It's a cool vibe, and I'm sure you've had your fair share.
It's
up
very
in
nice
Oregon.
in Oregon. Yeah. Oregon weather gets very
100%.
nice.
Oh my goodness, So we've all been kind of spoiled with cold Christmases, but we love a good Hawaii Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But staying in the Christmas spirit, I wanna bring up a topic that might rustle some feathers in here.
Ooh, what you got?
Speaking of feathers, the Philadelphia
Oh
Eagles.
my, that was a good one.
That was good.
That one
well
was
done.
that one was
Eagles
a
well done.
fly.
that was a quick one, but the offensive lineman trio known as the Philly Specials of Jason Kelsey, Jordan Mailata, and Lane Johnson are putting out their second Christmas album.
Yep.
The first one blew up last Christmas season, and this year they've kind of outdid themselves. We'll obviously Jordan Mailata, who was on The Masked Singer, we already know he can sing. I think one that kind of broke the internet was a certain duet between brothers. We're talking about Jason Kelsey and Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yep.
Please.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Please.
Taking some singing lessons from T Swift herself to record this duet. I want to have you all heard it?
Yes. I mean, for the Eagles doing it was really cool.
Right.
Like, because they're just a bunch of offensive linemen who are genuinely friends, and they're one of the best, like, in the league doing what they do.
Yeah.
And to all know that they can, like, sing, and they just, like, had this brilliant idea, and they all came together in, like, the low basement to, like, make it happen.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then, like, to get Travis Kelce involved was just, like, not necessary, I think.
I wonder if he
That's my
got some
personal
vocal
thoughts.
lessons from his girlfriend.
I mean-
like, do you think he got like?
I think he did.
Definitely.
If you're going on an album that's
Yeah.
gonna be released
Yeah.
and you're dating
Gotta get some
Taylor
advice, right?
Swift, you know what I mean?
You got it. Just
Yeah.
a quick text, like, what are some tips, right?
Took some notes at the Air store, like
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
when he definitely wrote down when she said Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, but no, a lot of comments online have been saying that the duet is Jason is giving Grizzly Bear and
Please.
Travis is giving Disney Prince.
I would rather see a duet from Kylie than I would from Travis and Jason.
Honestly, get the Kelsey kids on the
Yeah,
track.
and
I
get,
think so,
Get the
yeah.
daughters involved.
Yes, get the kids on the
Get
track.
Donna. I would
Get
rather
mom.
see Donna.
Yes.
I would get the
I
mom.
think
Get the whole fan. Yeah.
Donna can probably sing. I have a
You think?
lingering suspicion that just like she has that like sweet like grandma voice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like angelic, like Jordan Mailata. But
Make a Christmas video. Bring her out in that jacket with
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Chiefs,
love it.
Yep.
Eagles.
Yep.
Yeah,
Started
totally.
working at Cane's the other day.
no way.
No, not here.
Could you,
Cane's in Manoa.
That'd be wild.
on University?
On the university.
No, it's that video of her working at Cane's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
saw
seen a
that,
bunch
yeah.
of different like celebrity.
I cannot imagine. I
could-
couldn't. If she gave me coleslaw by accident, I could not yell at her.
Right, you just
I-
have
Yeah,
to
you
take
just
it.
accept
I won't
it,
eat it
yeah.
in front of her and be like, "Thank you, ma'am." Like,
It's so good.
this
so
is
good.
exactly what I wanted.
You're like, can I take a picture? It's so good. Good. The coleslaw's great. Okay, but speaking of like Christmas albums, we were talking about this before we started recording. Cienna brought it up. We should definitely record an HNN Overtime Christmas album.
100%. We're gonna come out with a cookbook, and we're
cookbook
gonna
and a
come out
Christmas
with a
album.
Christmas album.
They're
yeah,
just so blessed.
exactly.
We missed Black Friday for the deals, but it will be released by the end of the
Oh,
year, no doubt.
100%.
Quick little question, little spur of the moment. Like, what would each of our like singles be? Like, what song would we try as like this is the Davis single?
As much as I would want to say that I could pull off Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," I know 1,000% I could not pull it off. So it'd have to be like a. Like very like Jingle Bell Rock, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, like Winter Wonderland. One of the ones that the kids can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. For as much as you guys hype up my singing ability, I'd do like an easy like Mele Kaliki Maka or like like shoot, I can't remember what it was, but definitely can't hit Mariah. Definitely
can't really, no, not at all. I was thinking too, probably something very nice and easy for me. And one of my favorite, not really, well, we always watched it. You guys have those certain Christmas movies that your parents made you watch, like every single December.
100%.
Yeah, so one of them was White Christmas for my family too. And so that song at the end, I think that would be more my pace. Very easy going White Christmas.
Very Davis-centric.
Yeah, very nice, chilling.
Yeah.
Good moment. That would be mine.
Another one that's like kind of easy but like low. It's like the Blue Christmas
Blue
by
Christmas.
Elvis.
Yes.
That's a good one too.
It's another one.
But I'm glad you brought up Christmas movies, Davis.
Here we go, Kyle.
Because my favorite.
Yeah, this is our official question of the day for the crew.
All right, here we go.
We all have our favorite Christmas movies, but I think we want to talk about one Christmas movie that we could probably do without.
I know my answer.
Yeah, but we can also start with saying our favorite, but then we can also say
then go into
then
it.
We can,
Okay.
If anybody is ready, they can go.
See?
Well, do you know yours?
Still thinking in my head.
Okay.
I know mine. So the one that I think is overhyped, I can totally live without. They didn't need to make it. Polar Express. Sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm not
Ouch.
riding no train.
That's a hot take.
That
is a hot take because a lot of people really love that movie.
Okay, low-key, I was scared.
You were scared?
Yeah.
There were a lot
Really?
of parts, especially as a kid.
You know what?
Yes.
I remember that old guy. Remember the old guy on the train?
Yes. Yes.
And the whole puppet scene. Yeah,
Yes.
that stuff spooks.
It was so spooky.
Yeah.
And then it just made me mad. Like that girl losing her ticket. You're lying,
Oh my gosh.
girl. Like now I'm mad.
People just
That's
want to
true.
remember the hot chocolate scene and forget like that there was a point where they almost crashed the dang train.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, okay, this is going off on a tangent, but But so a couple of years ago when Lynn's kids were super young, this is when I was living on the mainland, we took her, so in Arizona, there's this like Polar Express train like museum ride. So we drove from Las Vegas to Arizona and we took her kids to ride the Polar Express.
Right.
And they labeled it as like you're coming on the Polar Express. And it was pretty cool. Like everybody got on the train, you're wearing Christmas pajamas. They have everyone dressed as if they're in the Polar Express.
Right.
Like all the waiters and waitresses, I guess. And it's fully decked. They take you through the mountains, like beautiful, like it's snowfall in the mountains. And they hand out hot chocolate in the middle.
Right.
They read the
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
So like I get the hype for it. The movie's just not my forte.
Okay.
Hey,
It's a good explanation.
It
That's
just doesn't
really
make me
good-
feel good. It's
Right.
like there's no happiness.
Right. And honestly, I mean, looking back, it's an animated movie, but just the way it was animated, it's kind of creepy.
It was
It's a
kind of
little
weird.
creepy, yeah.
Just that weird, like, rubbery, like.
Thinking
they just
more
look
about it,
too
it really
human.
is that puppet scene for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was not a fan of that scene.
So, real quick though, what is your favorite?
Oh, Elf. Elf is my favorite.
Yeah.
And so, like, as you guys can see, like, the Polar Express is just so, like, they're trying to teach you lessons. It's just so serious.
Right.
I like the movies that are just funny and make you laugh, and there's really no rhyme or reason.
I love that. I love it.
pretty
That's a
good.
good. Elf is
That's
a
a good
really
one.
good.
Yeah, Will
That's a
Ferrell.
good one.
That's a good one. Davis, would you like to
Well,
continue?
going on, I'll start with a favorite one. It's obviously Elf. I mean,
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know a single person who doesn't like Elf.
It just makes you feel so good.
So
It's a good one.
it's just a go-to movie.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it, honestly. There's so many good moments in it. Will Ferrell, comedic genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say. One movie I could do without, though, I would probably say A Christmas Story.
Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
I agree with
Yeah.
you
Honestly,
there,
it's
too.
Right?
it's also
Right?
because like every Christmas day they play it non-stop on that one
Yeah.
channel, and it's
ABC Family.
Is it the Hallmark? No.
it's one of the channels, right? It's like from 12 a.m. to midnight they're playing the movie on
Just
repeat.
don't like
Yeah.
the movie.
It's
They're just trying to teach you too much.
yeah, it's like
really
coming of
is.
age, like
Yeah.
It's very much like be a better person.
right.
Basically.
No.
There's not really any humor to it.
There's no
you know,
humor to it.
there's just
Kinda
not a
weird.
lot to it. It's something that like is almost a requirement.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you were forced to see it in a way.
Oh, we're forced.
Yeah,
We're
it was
being forced.
definitely
Yeah.
forced. But something you could live without.
Right.
I agree.
Totally.
Kyle?
I will say my favorite Christmas movie. We'll start with favorite.
Okay.
I have no idea what he's gonna say.
No.
I think it's gonna be out of
It doesn't
pocket.
seem like Elf.
It's I will say Elf is up there, but I will say I really love the How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
Oh, okay.
the Jim Carrey movie.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
I love it. Just
Okay.
honestly, just because of Jim Carrey and how he did that movie. That is a go-to for me on Christmas time. And I will say one that can kind of, you know, it's not necessary. It's kind of overstayed its welcome. Is the Charlie Brown Christmas,
Ooh.
the little animated one. It's
Really?
another.
I think it's so cute.
I know it's cute.
I think it's pretty, yeah.
It's another one of those kind of a Christmas Story thing where it's always shown for me. Like it's always either the Christmas Story or Charlie Brown's Christmas, and it's just like constant. So, I for me, it's almost like fatigue, right? Like I'm just like
Christmas fatigue.
Christmas fatigue is real.
I don't get Christmas fatigue.
I mean, maybe I wouldn't say like in general fatigue, but like movies, like
Yeah,
just
I
seeing
don't
it all the
know.
time.
Could see that.
I'm like definitely more of a Christmas like episode person than I am a Christmas movie, if that makes sense.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I will
Okay.
rewatch some of my favorite shows, Christmas episodes. Like, you know, if you ever go online, it'll be like
Right.
Friends, all the Christmas episodes
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
release,
Yeah,
or like
for
New
sure.
Girl, and like I'll just watch those more than I will like be like, let me turn on Elf real quick.
Right,
As much
right,
as I
yeah.
love it.
right.
enough.
I can agree with that. I can get
I
down
just
with that.
think those are cute.
One thing that was crazy, I was like switching through the channels. There was a channel that had like Elf 24/7.
Oh, okay.
It just kept replaying Elf.
Well,
I forgot what channel it was. but
Maybe-
it
maybe
was
that
like,
Cartoon
hey,
Network.
welcome for like joining back for Elf 24 hours.
Did Disney have any like Christmas? No,
movies.
right?
Well, the
I
Santa
don't-
Claus with
Oh,
Tim
Oh,
Allen.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
watch that.
I watched that
Yes.
series.
That was a good-
The Disney original
Oh, you're
movie.
right. I totally
That was
forgot
a
about
series.
That. I did watch
There was a couple other Christmas
that. It
movies.
was more just episodes.
Yeah,
Huh?
Yeah.
I will say this is a really niche thing as far as like Christmas episodes.
Oh, no.
Do you guys remember that Mickey Mouse show, The House of Mouse,
No.
on Disney
Oh,
Channel?
yeah.
And they had the Christmas episode, which was basically just a bunch of like reanimated like Disney shorts that were Christmas themed, and they like played it as like a clip show.
I never
Oh.
watched that.
I've heard of that, but I don't think I actually saw that.
That one
Yeah.
sits with me because I would watch it as a kid every Christmas, and it was easy for my grandparents that had the cassette because it was like instead of like trying to find each individual like Disney Christmas short, it was all on one. And I don't know if you guys remember when Mickey Mouse was the Nutcracker. That one was a short that
No.
always sticks with me for some reason.
But I do enjoy the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Another weird Christmas movie was when they tried to remake The Grinch as an animated movie a couple years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
remember
remember that.
Don't mess with the classic,
Zone's
guys.
the what?
Zone.
Yeah.
But speaking of Christmas episode specials, be sure to stick around to the end of this month because we'll have our official
Ooh.
Christmas HNN
Maybe
Overtime
some
special.
Christmas sweaters, some Christmas gift. Oh, who
we
knows?
might have to-
Stay
Favorite.
tuned.
Fix the air conditioner in this room
Yes,
for
it
us
is
to
very
get that
hot
done.
right now.
But I think we're in a good
That
spot.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I want to thank you guys for coming along this magical December Christmas journey. We'll be doing a lot of Christmas-themed things this month, guys, but thank you so much again for listening or watching to this episode of HNN Overtime. To check out the other episodes, you can head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the rest of our HNN podcast. And be sure to check out the video version on our YouTube channel. For Cienna, Pilotin, Davis, Pitner, I'm Kyle Chinen. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.